If you like Italian meatball subs, then you're guaranteed to like this recipe. With that being said, let's get to cooking. All right, first thing on this cutting board, as you see, we have our 80-20 ground beef. This is a pound of ground beef. And we also have some Italian sausages. Now, these Italian sausages have the case on, which is not a problem. We're just going to go in with a serrated knife, the knife with the little ridges. And we're going to take it, place it onto the sausage, and just basically remove the casing. Just like that. Once you're done, you're going to toss this, of course. We're going to do the ground beef with the pork sausage simply because it's going to create a lot of moisture, right? You don't want tough, dried meatballs. Even though if you add like 100% ground beef, right, and you add certain ingredients, it's still going to soften it up. But if you add the pork sausage, it's going to help it out even more. And not to mention, it's going to be totally flavorful. All right, once you got your meat in your bowl, we're going to add our seasonings. Let's add some onion powder. All right, let's also add some garlic powder, smoked paprika. All right, if you want to add regular paprika, it has subtle flavor. It's not going to provide you with much flavor, but hey, your choice, right? Let's add some Italian seasoning. This Italian seasoning blend has just about every herb that you can possibly think of inside of it. It's just basically handmade by your girl Tammy, of course. We're also going to add some red chili flakes for a little hint of heat and spice. All right, let's add some Cooking with Tammy all-purpose chicken seasoning, along with our who's hungry for a nice herbaceous and all-purpose blend of flavors. Let's see, what else am I missing? I want to boost the flavors up even more, so let's add some beef bouillon to the mix. All right, we're going to add our breadcrumbs, of course, chopped garlic. Add a good amount of garlic if you love garlic. Don't hold back. Make sure you add that egg without the shell, okay? And we're also going to add some whole milk as well. Going to go in there with some finely chopped parsley. That's going to give it a nice element of not only herbaceous flavor, right? But it's also going to give it that nice pop of color as well. And let's get in there, and we're going to break down the sausages along with the ground beef, of course. We're going to fold all of the seasoning into the meat. But most importantly, we're not going to overmix. We don't want our ground to get tough, which would equate to like having tough meatballs. We don't want that. We want nice, juicy, succulent meatballs with delicious flavor. So just fold until all of the ingredients are perfectly mixed in. Once we're done, we should be able to form the meatballs and have them stay together without them being too solidified or falling apart. The other thing that I forgot, oh my goodness, I can't forget this. Parmesan cheese. Yes, we got to add some Parmesan. I'm going to go ahead and freshly grate some Parmesan cheese. All right, about maybe 1/3 cup would be perfect. That's great. With the Parmesan cheese, it's gonna give the meatballs a delicious flavor. All right, Parmesan makes everything taste better. We have those nice chunky bits of garlic that's exposed throughout the meat. That looks amazing. Woo! Not to mention, it smells so good. To form the meatballs, I'm gonna take a small drizzle of olive oil in my hands. All right, gonna rub it up just like this. Get a little... Never mind. We're going to take our meatballs. And if you don't want to use oil, you can wet your hands basically. All right. Just with a little bit of water. Just damp your hands. All right. We have a perfect mixture, right? Not much work went into it, and the perfect meatball has been formed. I see a nice chunk of Parmesan cheese, and I am not complaining. Make the meatballs the shape and size that you prefer. I'm going to go for more like a medium sized meatball. I'm not going to make it too small because I want it to stand out when we place it onto the sub. All right, I'm going to continue molding and rolling these meatballs. And once I'm done, I'm going to come back and show you how to put this delicious Italian meatball sub together. Check out our meatballs so far. They look absolutely gorgeous. I'm working on my last meatball. I'm going to move this over just a bit. And we are finished and ready for a nice hot skillet. I'm going to add about 1/4 cup of oil to the pan. You can use a cast iron skillet or a heavy duty stainless steel pan or skillet to fry your meatballs. All right. The goal at this point is to brown the meatballs, not so much cook them all the way through. We're trying to develop a nice crust all around the meatballs. So about 1 minute on each side. I'm going to move this over just a bit. That one slightly. And yes, we have enough room. Large cast iron skillet to the rescue. As you can see, our meatballs is developing a nice golden crust. Take your time and flip them over. All right, all of our meatballs developed a nice golden brown crust. So at this point in time, we're gonna shake off any excess oil and place the meatballs onto a baking sheet or even a plate, right? Once you're done, you're gonna set them aside and we're gonna work on making our delicious marinara sauce. Alrighty. I'm gonna go in with a paper towel and dab some of this excess oil out of the pan because we don't need all of this oil. I'm gonna add our finely chopped garlic. We're gonna toast up the garlic for a couple of seconds. This is cast iron skillet, so it holds heat. This is really hot, so no need for 30 seconds. You know what I'm saying? About maybe 10 seconds, you should start to smell the aroma of the garlic. And at that point in time, you're gonna introduce one of your favorite brands of marinara sauce. You're gonna combine it really well with the garlic, of course. Just a little bit more, about 24 ounces is good. And we're gonna season up this sauce, okay? Make it ours, if you will. So in order to do that, let's add some extra basil. Love basil, by the way. We're also gonna add some Italian seasoning. Come on, Italian seasoning, get out of the bottle. We're gonna add just a small bit of heavy cream because I want the sauce to be creamier, right? We're not making an alla vodka sauce or anything, but I just want the sauce to be creamy. We're also gonna add some pecorino romano to the mix, along with some Parmesan cheese in a second. That's gonna give it a nice flavor. Let's get some freshly grated Parmesan in here as well. Some chili flakes for a nice, nice heat element of flavor. Let's add some of my Cooking with Tammy all-purpose seasoning. Just gonna add all of it and finish it up, why not? A little bit of Yo Who's Hungry. Garlic powder, different flavor profile, don't worry about it. You're gonna be okay, just add the garlic powder. Trust me on this one, all right? Add the remaining pecorino romano to the mix and we're just gonna stir it on in. And as you can see, we added just a small amount of heavy cream, right? It didn't even change the consistency or the color of the sauce. You're gonna taste the creaminess, but you're not gonna be able to tell that we added any type of cream to the sauce. And that's gonna be a little secret. Stir it on up really good, turn the flame down. We wanna maintain the thickness of this sauce because by the time we add it to the bread, we don't want the bread to become soggy. Give the sauce a taste. Make sure it tastes good. If you need to add some additional seasonings, at that point in time, that's what you're gonna do. If you don't have marinara on hand, you can use your favorite brand of pasta sauce. And if you want to add a little sugar to give it that, that sweet marinara flavor, you definitely can. And at this point in time, we're going to cook our meatballs all the way through. Submerge these little bad boys into the sauce. All right, we're going to spoon some of our sauce onto the meatballs, or we could just basically flip them over, either or, whichever is quicker for you. But we want that delicious sauce to coat the balls, of course. And this looks and smells fantastic. All right, we're gonna cover it on down with the lid and allow it to simmer for about 6 to 8 minutes, or until the meatballs are cooked all the way through. Let's make some garlic buttered toast, all right? So in order to do that, we have our melted butter. Gonna place it right here. We're gonna add some granulated garlic to it, along with our Italian seasoning, fresh parsley, for that nice herbaceous pop of color as well. Gonna use whatever I have handy. We're just gonna mix it on up. The butter is salted, so no need for any additional seasonings. All right, that's it. Looks amazing, smells great. We're gonna take our basting brush and we're gonna add our garlic butter to our sub. Using a spoon because that basting brush did not want to work. All right, one side is good. If you're feeling fancy, butter both sides. I'm gonna butter both sides of the bread. All right, make sure you make more than enough garlic butter, if you're gonna do that, of course. We're gonna place it into our preheated oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit, and we're gonna toast the bread. All right, guys, meatball sub time. Big reveal of our meatballs. They turned out perfect. All right, as you can see, the sauce is still nice and thick, which is exactly what we're going for. We're gonna go in with a good handful of cheese. This is a mozzarella and provolone blend. Now, the thing is, right, you wanna add the cheese not only for the cheesy goodness of the sandwich, but you wanna create a barrier in between the cheese and the sauce, right? Because you don't want the sauce to make the bread too soggy. All right, let's add some sauce. All right, once you've gotten enough sauce on your sandwich, you're gonna add your meatballs. Set it right there, just like that. All right, this size sub is just perfect for 3 meatballs. And these are large size meatballs. All right. Add a little bit more sauce on top. Gonna go in for some more cheese. We're gonna add some butter to the top of the bread, garlic butter, of course. All right, let's spread it on. And we're gonna place it back into the oven. This time we're gonna turn on the broiler setting, and we're gonna broil it for about 2 minutes or until the cheese is perfectly melted. Check out our beautiful Italian style meatball sub. Oh, this is gorgeous. Smells amazing, and it's so hot. Wow, look at all of that oozing cheese. That's, oh my God, all of that provolone and mozzarella. Now this is an Italian style meatball sub. Check out the gooey cheese, the cheese melt, the cheese pull. Whoa. You know I'm gonna go for the cheesiest part of the sub. Let's eat. Wow, look at all that cheese, oh my goodness. The tender, tasty juiciness of the meatballs. We all know that cheese pull tastes delicious, right? But let's focus on the meatballs for a second. Woo! Absolutely tasty, delicious, mouth-watering. Has a slight hint of heat, which is absolutely complimentary. Not to mention nice, savory, herbaceous flavors. Don't talk about the juiciness and the tenderness. My goodness, not to mention the beautifully toasted, crusty bread. Replicate this recipe in its entirety. I'm going to leave full recipe details on how to make this exact delicious meatball sub, because when I tell you it's absolutely tasty, mouth-watering, delicious, this is like none other. I know my face is probably messy, but hey, I do mukbangs too. It is what it is, right? But when I tell you, like, I'm from New York, of course, and when I go down to the street fairs and stuff like that, I have never, ever, ever tasted a meatball sub this delicious. Next one up is going to be our sausage parm sandwich, so make sure you stay tuned and check out that video. That should be posted right after this video, but nevertheless, like I said, give this recipe a try. It's going to be worth it. I can't even hold my seasonings at this point. Cookingwithtammy.shop. Get your seasonings. These seasonings help to bring out the best flavors in every single dish, whether or not if you know how to cook or you don't know how to cook. Anyway, guys, I'll catch you guys in another video. Talk to you later. Bye, guys. Wow.